Alrighty, we're live, Mitch. So hello and welcome everyone to yet another Red Cape Sports live stream. It's going to be a good one. My name is Bert Bouchard, aka the Luca Lover. Absolutely love the dude. I've been tweeting at him, Mitch. I'm on day 80, so I'm not sure if even you know, but on Twitter, I've been tweeting at Luka Doncic for 80 days straight now, trying to get him to reply, and so far he hasn't.
Yeah, I sent Zion a video just telling him that I'm his number one fan, and it's okay that he missed a game-winning shot opportunity the other night. So,
he actually did.
Yeah, he did. Well, I believe it was Lillard. He had like a 50-point game. He went off. I only saw the highlights, but Lonzo, for whatever reason, I don't know how he did it. He made a beautiful, full court pass. Zion got it, went for the layup, and missed because he always misses up close. But I love Zion, and let's hope he powers through it.
Okay, so before we started this live stream, Mitch, I told you that there was some good news, and you just mentioned the topic. Here we go. Will Mitch's dreams come true?
No way.
Lonzo Ball is reportedly set to be traded to the Knicks.
Really?
Or sign there as a free agent. There's multiple news stories set on that. Just Google his name right now. You can pull that up. And I'm going to read the quote from his father here in LeVar Ball. Okay,
LeVar, my goodness.
I have to read this because, and this probably is the reason why he's going to get traded. Okay, LeVar says, "quote I don't know what they're going to do, but I hope he traded. I don't like watching him play lie he plays. He can't stand New Orleans. Come on, man."
Yeah, but
so LeVar Ball says that he hopes his son gets traded. And like I've mentioned on other streams, it seems like New Orleans wants him out, and the Knicks said, "Hey, we'll take this kid. We want to upgrade our backcourt." I'm not sure how much of an upgrade that's going to be honest.
It's not. It's not. But you know what? He has had some good games. Sometimes he shoots the three ball okay. He can pass. I mean, he's an NBA player. He's not bad. He's just not good. He's never been good. So he's had one game where he played well, but he hasn't even had a good game. So, all right, next question. That's enough about Lonzo Ball.
Just like that. Like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a guy that you texted me about the other day, Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah.
I believe you're on the side that he's legit. Is that fair to say?
I'm on the side that I don't know why he's so expensive. Is every decent basketball player going to be $500 for the rookie? That's a cause for weirdness, in my opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems that way. There's obviously players that maybe deserve that in terms of potential, but it's getting hard to even look at LaMelo Ball, great talent, great player, but why are his hoops were selling for so much? And whether that would be market manipulation, eBay manipulation. It just seems to me that Kevin Porter Jr., I think he's got almost too much attention. He's got attention, which is somewhat deserved, but I mean, not every player is going to be remembered. So,
right. I look at Kevin Porter Jr. and I go, okay, well, I mean, he was in a pretty bad market while LeBron's not there, at least out in Cleveland. Cleveland absolutely struggled. He was kind of like the number 2 option, maybe even number 3 option behind both Drummond and one of my favorite players in Colin Sexton. But now he's out in Houston. And, he's still not even the number 1 man. And Houston's lost 18 games straight. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what it is. And, I'll give a shout out to our buddy Vincent from Card Hour, because he once said, why are we going, as a hobby, as a whole, why are we constantly buying into people's moments? We've seen it with Bol. Dude, Bol's card skyrocketed after a preseason game, was it?
Yeah, I did a video on that. I believe in the what game was it? Yeah, he had one. It wasn't even a real game. It was an exhibition or a preseason game. he played well, but they didn't even have the starters out. It wasn't a real game. It wasn't like an NBA big game or anything. So yeah, Bol went way up, and I mean, I wish I would have held mine a little bit longer, but you can't just buy a guy because he has one good game or even one good year. That's another thing, right?
Right.
Dude, if Zion starts getting 12 points a game for the rest of the year, you're going to lose a lot of money, which won't it's not going to happen. But we're going to see a lot of changes the next few years, right? I mean, how many guys? Because I would argue that if there's any sport, when I was a kid and I was playing travel hockey or high school hockey, even, I remember the Brandon Shanahan, Sergei Fedorov. I remember who are all those guys? Like any guy from about that era in the 1990s. All those guys, dude, like Dominic Hasek, even before then. But like a lot of those guys, nobody talks about today. So it's going to be really interesting. Like even baseball, right? I mean, how many people like people don't even give Albert Pujols the amount of attention that he deserves, right? Like he's legit. Pujols in his prime, that's like LeBron in his prime in a way, you know?
Maybe, yeah, honestly.
Maybe.
You know, baseball, another potential Hall of Famer even is Adrian Beltre, and that name doesn't get tossed around often.
Dude, never.
You know, David Price,
Beltre.
right? Think about it. David Price was one of, and still is one of the premier pitchers in baseball. Obviously, last year he opted out, so kind of missed out on the World Series opportunity. However, like, you know, people aren't really talking about him, so it's really hard to be one of those premier players. And like you said in one of your videos too, right? Sometimes you can pick up the wrong card, but sometimes even worse, you can just pick up the wrong player. So buying into the hype, I don't know about that. You know, buyers beware. So, all right, what else we got here? All right, so I just want to touch base on this one really quick. The Champions League, I believe it's the round of 8 now. Okay, so there's a Mukoko. Well, I guess he's still in the Champions League match. So is that how you're going to be answering that question? Which cards are you buying from players still in the Champions League?
And kind of like I said before, I'm not a big soccer buyer. I am stocking up on Mukoko. Got quite a few of him right now. And this came in the other day. Marvel card.
Yeah, hold on for your pickups because that's going to be a segment later on.
Okay.
All right. But for me, just to answer this, guys, I still believe in Timo Werner. Chelsea, they've been pretty bad this season, but you know, in the Champions League, they're still winning. They're still very much alive. You know, that coaching change has helped them a lot. Timo Werner, I believe, will. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like he's going to find the back of the net. Obviously, we don't know the next draw. I've been picking up him. What I will say, however, is, and this is going to sound ridiculous, I think Erling Haaland is overpriced right now. I really do. There's so much hype with him. Like $500 isn't even, like, you can't even find a decent card worth buying for $500. It's like $1,500. So I've been staying away from him. But Mbappe still incredibly undervalued and incredibly cheap. So I've been picking up Mbappe. Just because, like, he's incredible, man, and he really is. And so anyway, Mbappe I've been picking up.
He's already got some accolades too, you could argue, right? So,
dude, the second youngest guy ever to win the World Cup. And then, I mean, had he won the World Cup in 2018 and then last year won the Champions League, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, last year, you know, he Kevin Duranted it. He made it to the finals, and that's just gonna, like, light a fire underneath him, and he's gonna light it up this year. They could win the whole thing. But Mitch, moving on to the next topic. I did have it as one of our pop-ups, but let's bring up this comment here.
Yeah, I wanted to hit on that.
You texted me about this just a few hours ago.
Yeah, so I actually sent Bert a screenshot today. So I'm actually going to pull it up So we'll give you no luck all-star. An answer for that. So I could probably talk about this probably pretty well right now. So if you have seen our episode or if you haven't, I did an episode on my mint grading submission. I did that probably a couple months ago, and I have my order right here. So is mint a legit option for Canadians to send cards to? I like the slab, but I'm not sure if I want to send them in. I feel this might actually hurt the value by grading with them. So to answer this question, if the card is worth if the card is worth over $200, this is just take this not as a sure thing, just as a guide, okay? If your card is worth at least $200, and if you can, grade PSA, okay? Especially if it's a card you're going to hold long term. Now, if you live in Canada and if you have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and hockey, anything Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and hockey, if you don't want to pay a lot for shipping, Mint is not bad. Okay, it looks good. They have subgrades, and they sell well in Canada. If you have basketball, baseball, whatever else, if you can for cheap, send it to PSA. Mint is a good option in my opinion. I've sold Mint cards. I bought Mint cards. I have a lot of baseball Mint cards. So we'll see how that does. So I placed an order, and they received a package January 8th. And they sent me an email today because I was asking them, and they said that they haven't finished my order yet. So it's been over 30 days, and it seems to me that the 30 days is taking time. That's just what we're experiencing right now. So Mint isn't super quick, but at the point in time, I'm grading Pokemon, like some high-end Pokemon, basic hockey. So Pokemon and hockey, grade Mint if you can, and you'll be able to sell your cards. That's how I would answer that. Yes, they are a legit option, but if you're going to grade really good cards $300, $400, $500 or better, maybe just go PSA. So
I think that's fair enough.
Common sense there too, but
Mitch, were you expecting it to take this long? Because by my math, you're nearing 3 months, right? So that's all of January. I'm going to consider that all of January because it's the 8th. All of February.
It's been over
halfway through March. That's like 2.5 months.
Yeah, I was hoping to get it sooner, and the reason I didn't do 90 days, and it would have been even cheaper, I did 30 days because I wanted to get the cards about now or before, because hockey's in season. Matthews has gone up a lot, which I'm not grading, but I do have like a Panarin I wanted to sell. Who else? Like Adam Fox, guys like that.
Right.
And in my opinion, this is always going to be the case, at least for now, probably for this year. It's worth grading a card that's worth grading. You know what I mean? Like here, I'll give you an example. So here's a Zion card I'm putting on eBay. It's in good condition, but it's not going to get a 9 or 10. If a cheap card doesn't get a 10, it's probably not going to sell well. So a card like this, you may want to grade if you're going to get a 9, right? But luckily I got a 10. So the point is, if your card is going to be worth a couple $100, and if it's worth grading, grade your card, because you're kind of throwing money away. Whereas if you implemented a little more patience, you could do even better. So when it comes down to it, separate your cards from raw cards into cards that should be graded, because when you're grading cards that should be graded, you're going to be able to get a lot more value out of the cards. So take your time, be patient with your graded cards, and send them in. And again, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Hockey Young Guns, very good for Mint. I find that you're able to sell those very easily. So, and which Young Guns do I like from the past 2 years? Matthews, I would have said last year or even now. It's just he's very expensive now. Like Matthews raw, like how much is the Matthews raw, Bird? Like $600-700 almost. Like Matthews graded high was about $300-400 last year. So you want to pick your battles. Bird could probably answer that even better though. Bird, how do you feel on young guns? What are some young guns that you feel is that you like for the past 2 years? I think we're just trying to connect here with Bird. So
There we go. Now I can hear you.
yeah, Bird. So which young guns do you like from the past 2 years?
Miko Rantanen.
They've gone up.
Okay. Listen, it might not necessarily be throughout the last 2 years. So, but what I can tell you is Miko Rantanen. I love him. I feel like he's still significantly undervalued. I mean, he's playing with Nathan McKinnon. Maybe not like a Canadian market or an original six market, but the playoffs is definitely going to help attract a lot of buyers. We've seen it like Braden Point. Braden Point went from $10 all the way up to like 80. So I like that for sure. Alex DeBrinket's playing great hockey as well. Brock Besser, PSA 9s, PSA 10s even, undervalued. Who else can I say? Mika Zibanejad. So Mika Zibanejad, and I'm not just saying this because he tied an NHL record last night. Mitch, get this. In one period, he had 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists, natural hat trick.
Jeez.
Prior to that, though, so for the season, now he's only got 6 goals, right? So he only had 3 goals and 9 assists coming into it. He was really struggling. But if you look at his last 6-7 games, he's been picking it up. And we know that at one point he was a $65 American card. So right now on ComC, he's right around $22. He's playing in the Big Apple, right? He's playing with Panarin again, playing with Ryan Strome, finding the back of the net. Hopefully, we saw last year he struggled a lot and he still scored 42 goals. Like the start of the season, he was bad. And then he just boom. So I feel like that's going to happen again. And then the last guy that I'll give away, I don't want to give away everything because we still need videos to make. Sebastian Aho. Sebastian Aho, he's in a small market. So, these aren't like my top plays. These are just names that I'm willing to give that, I won't be mentioning in videos anytime soon. But Sebastian Aho is another great guy too.
Yeah, and I think I graded 2 or 3 of his. So I'm waiting for that mint submission. So I mean, that mint submission will give us a video for the channel. I'm gonna show you guys all 36 cards, including Kevin's, the shark that we graded. But also, it has to do with another video that I'm working on called the Ultimate Hockey Card Challenge. Working on a bit of spoilers, but I'm working on. I've been documenting my process of creating and flipping a 2021 upper deck set.
Nice.
And I'm grading Alexi, so I'm waiting on an Alexi one. So that's been holding that back, and it's been holding back another series that I gave Bird a bit of spoilers to too. So we're working on a lot of cool, potentially higher end content, more documentary kind of vibe. So just some cool content. That's one thing I think Bird and I really love doing. We love producing cool stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see the more documentary style myself, right? Because we pick up the phone and we call each other often, but there's still this part of your journey that I'm not even that aware of. I know bits and pieces, but to actually see it, and I don't know, that'll be super cool.
And me and Bird play the market different too. Like Bird will flip daily, whereas the soonest I'll flip is probably like a week, a month at least. So me and Bird are very different.
Here's why though. So for example, and before I get to Matthias's question here. So the other day, I was talking to you, I was making a barbecue and I said, Mitch, I think Pete Alonso's pretty undervalued, PSA 9s. Not even Topps Chromes or anything paper. His cards were like, dude, $12 on ComC. $12. Mm-hmm. So I buy it and I'm like, okay, and I was just kind of like fooling myself. And I set it for, a buy it now type of thing on ComC for $27. Boom, it's sold.
Wow.
So for me, I'm willing to take that right now. It doesn't matter how great Pete Alonso does. It doesn't matter if he flames out. It doesn't matter for me. It's like when I can do that, I'll just take the flip. On a guy like that. That is, another example. Actually, I'm going to save it for another segment, but and I'm sure I will remind it. Just because I want to get
I will say too, Bird made me some good profits on an Mbappe card. So
that sold today. I saw.
Yeah, and then I actually pushed up the price of a card to help you out too. So
nice.
Yeah, so Bird has. I think you have the cheapest card on one of them too. So yeah, Sometimes Bird will always tell me great picks, and I don't listen. And it's not that I don't believe him. Usually, it's just I don't see it. If you don't feel it, if you don't feel the pick, don't buy it. Like, who cares? Because you're better off being right 2 times than to be guessing 8 times and being unsure. So that's all I'm going to say. And sometimes when Bird gives me a pick, like Bird was telling me about Mukoko when the kid was like 8 years old, and I've been waiting for him, and I did research. So for me, I need to make sure I've researched. This is a card I picked up for like $8. So
I just love hearing you admit that you could have picked up Patrick Mahomes.
How do you have to bring that up, dude?
I just love bringing it up.
That's a big mistake, dude.
Yeah. Not even a big mistake, just a big missed opportunity. That's all, right? It wasn't a mistake.
Bird tells me to buy these 2 quarterbacks.
I told you 3 out of the last 4 quarterbacks who were in the Super Bowl.
I know. We're gonna talk NFTs later. Don't worry, living with it.
Yeah. We're gonna be talking a lot.
I couldn't even buy Top Shot. Dude, I bought Bitcoin 5 years ago, and I can't even get on these NFTs. What's going on?
All right. So he says, greetings from Berlin, Germany. That's awesome. So thanks, Matthias. How would you rate international grading companies? For example, GSG from established markets. Listen, PSA is still the king. They're going to be the king. That's all I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, if you're going to put money into a grading company, like, how about this? Why do we grade? We grade to make our sports cards more valuable. Well, so far from what we know, it's like PSA is worth it because they make your cards more valuable. And even with the increase, right? What's going to happen is that's going to weed away a lot of people. So pop reports might come down, and therefore the values are going to go up again. So for me, like, PSA is still the king. It's like if you guys are in Canada, right? Rogers and Bell for phone companies.
Yeah.
I don't want to say they're monopolized. Like, I really don't, because there's so many more grading companies coming in. But at the end of the day, like, PSA is going to be king. And I will say this, okay? KSA is another company in Canada that I know a lot of older collectors like to invest in and even grade with. One of my professors, shout out to Jeremy Reno, love the guy. And if you guys are in Red Cape Sports Facebook group, he's the one who bought the Connor McDavid clear cut for his son, Ryder. So anyway, all that to say, he wanted to grade his Bobby Orr with KSA. Would have I done that? Probably not. But if you're buying, I never see anything wrong with like buying SGC if you want to cross over. Like, crossing over, at the end of the day, like, they're still a grading company. Like, they still have standards. I just wouldn't submit my Premier. Like, I'm not going to submit them to KSA. I'm not going to submit them to SGC because it's just not worth it for me. But that's my take. How about you, Mitch?
Yeah, it's very interesting. When it comes to like your PC, your personal collection, I think for me personally, like I'm pretty visual. I'm pretty picky. I probably won't buy a card if I don't think it looks good aesthetically. It's probably part of my video cinematography background. But like, like, this is a PC card. I love this card. I love the way it looks, and I love Beckett. Like, for PC, I'm not going to hold like a mint card in PC. I'll probably crack it and regrade it Beckett because I like Beckett number 1, unless the colors match well. Like, I'll give you an example. A cool Spider-Man card. In my opinion, visually, and that's where HGA does well or whatever.
Yeah.
This card would look better PSA because of the red instead of BGS. I already know that visually. In terms of PC, if I don't care as much about the value, monetary value, but more of the personal value, I really like Beckett a lot. I would like to have a whole collection of Zion Beckett's. But some cards I do PSA if I know I'm going to sell it. So when it comes down to it, PSA is they're not only the most reputable brand, but they've been in it for a while. They're probably the best because they also have a lot of cool things about them. They have the tracking number on the card. They're the new slabs. They're very good. Like I have one right here. PSA is great. Like they have the QR code. They have the number of the card. It's thin. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I just want to mention one more thing. I would definitely say that when it comes to grading cards, you want to think about the value, okay? So when you're making money in general in the world, if you're working as an employee for a job, you are there for your value. The more value you can create, the more money you will make, right? If you add enough value where you're tapping into changing a million people's lives, maybe that's your way to make $1 million. And that's how life works. If you sell a product on Amazon, and if you're selling toilet paper and you have the best rating, you're going to add more value to more people. You're going to get paid for that. That's what you want to think about. When you're grading cards, you have to ask yourself, how much more value am I adding? And that's for anything in life. So you could take what you do with your business and implement it into cards. If there's a girl or a guy you want to get, you need to add value in their lives and then you'll get them. It's the exact same thing all across the board. So I think Bird cut out for a second here, but again, just think about it. You are adding value. If this card doesn't add any value, grading it for the collector or investor, then don't do it. So let's hope Bird gets back in here. I think Bird was cutting out for a bit. He should be back any second. If PSA prices were not the best, give me 3 reasons why to use PSA. I'll give you one. PSA registry. Yeah, I mean, they have... give me 3 reasons. Okay, sorry. I'm going to wait for Bird to get back on this one. So, greetings from Berlin, Germany. How would you rate international grading companies? Again, I mean, I'm pretty sure we went over that pretty well, so I don't really know what else to add. But, grading seems to be better. Grading cards, like a graded card sells better than a card that's raw. It just does. Like when I see a graded card, I kind of know what it is. They're easier to identify in a way. And because a card is graded, you know exactly what it is. You have more of a trust in the card as well. So think about that as well. And Bird, can you hear us? Bird, I think Bird is still away, guys. So Bird has been hypnotized by whatever is going on over there. So let's see here. Top 3 reasons I don't like PSA. And Ziggy, no. What is going on? Top 3 reasons I don't like no subgrades. Slab, no sleeves on cards. Interesting. I do agree with that, Ziggy. I definitely think subgrades would be nice for PSA, but then it kind of takes away from the whole PSA 10 idea, I think, right? Like, I wouldn't like to see a PSA 10. Yeah, I can hear you, Bird. Yeah, Bird, right now we're talking about Ziggy brought up a pretty interesting thing. He's been asking a few things, but top 3 reasons why he doesn't like PSA. No subgrades, no 9.5s, and the slabs are they're not in sleeves. I think what he means is the card is not in a sleeve before it's encased, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really like the new PSA slabs. So the latest slabs, well, I'm waiting on another shipment, but I mean, I think they look pretty good. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely using their name. PSA, you're definitely using their name. So PSA makes the buying legit. Interesting. Bird, can you hear us? All right, I think Bird is still away right now. So NBA Top Shot, let's talk about that. Is it a bubble? I don't know. I think it's such an early stage, so it's hard to say. I can hear you on your end. Hey, Bird, I can hear you on your end. PSA prices are crazy expensive for submission. But are you getting the most bang for your buck trying to resale? Otherwise, I'm going PC. I'm going with Beckett. Interesting. PSA just kind of sells better. I've been dealing with the fact that I've wanted to move a couple of these cards because I got in so cheap, and I know it's a great card to hold. But as you can see, I dropped and I cracked the case on like 4 of these cards, by the way. So I basically got a little ding, not on the card, but on the case. So I've been dealing with having to sell these a little bit cheaper as well. But PSA, people just want that. It's kind of what the market likes as well. Low money mindset. Love PSA, but I've been picking up some SGCs to mix it up a bit. Not a bad idea. I'd like to hear if maybe you are, cracking that or whatnot. So Mike J. Simmon, Butterfingers. I know, dude. So I was pulling cards out of where I keep my cards because I'm not going to share where I keep my cards. But I had a stack similar to this. I dropped all the cards and they all cracked. So I had like 30 graded cards actually, and 5 of them cracked. I cracked a LeBron rookie, PSA 8. I also cracked another Tatis. So Bird is back. Bird, I was talking about when I dropped those cards, those graded cards. And it's almost like a question though. When a card is cracked on the case, how bad is it? You know what I mean? Because like I don't know. I mean, it's definitely my fault I dropped the card, but like, how bad is a mark like this? You hide your cards in your bed. No. I had my cards under my bed. Sometimes I find cards like all over. Like I have like $500 cards just stashed everywhere, like in bookshelves, under my bed. I sleep with cards at night sometimes. My favorite Zions.
That's a bit far. That's weird.
I gotta protect it. If somebody comes in, dude, they can take whatever they want. Just don't touch my Zion.
The amount of times that I've gone to visit mom and dad, and I'm just in your room flipping through your cards,
sending you through my cards when I'm not there.
I know where they are. You don't do a good job hiding them.
In my office, I have cards at my office. I have cards at home. I have cards everywhere, guys. I remember I opened up my glove box once. And I opened up the glove box and like 8 graded cards fell out. And I forgot I had graded cards in there. Like, what if I get pulled over? If I get pulled over and they go through my glove box, they're going to be like, sir, why is there $5,000 worth of cards in your glove box? I don't know what to tell them.
Jeez. Here's a good question from Robert. He says, should I sell high-end base and go for parallels instead because of print runs? Afraid they will go down in value once graded submissions come in. Interesting question. I like parallels, but I will say this. Parallels tend to be a bit more expensive, so unless you got a player that a lot of people love, it's just a bit harder to sell. That's what I find. Right? Like, Mitch, like how long did it take you to sell that Anthony Beauvillier?
Actually, that's an interesting story though. I mean, that's a clear cut. That's a pretty rare card. I would consider a parallel where it's like a clear cut is kind of like a really good parallel though. You know what I mean?
For sure, right? Clear cuts in their own right.
That's almost like a clear cut is almost like having like a Prism Silver numbered basically. Right? Like, if not even better. Like, I would consider a parallel be more of something like a hoops blue or like a prism. I don't know, like a different color.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's weird. Hockey is weird
Yeah.
because there's only a few cards. But yeah, Anthony Beauvillier, I bought. People made fun of me, and I actually made pretty good profit. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I made like I don't know, probably like over $100 on that card.
Dude, Mike and I still can't believe it.
No,
It's
I'll show you the screenshot, man.
I know you
I
showed
showed
me,
you my
and
account.
we're
Like,
just in awe.
dude, I probably should have held it. I think he scored the other day. So
Yeah. Nathan Hall says, I think we should all grade our cards HGA and push PSA down. I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of like the way to push people out. It'll just take a lot to make that happen. And
that's not gonna happen, guys. Guys,
no, like,
if you try to push, if you start pushing PSA down, dude, every day they're probably getting like 10,000 cards. So good luck. That's like trying to push down Elon Musk's income. He's gonna send a rocket in outer space the next day. Like,
no, like I think it's really important to realize, like, from both us brothers, I tend to talk more about, $5 cards all the way up to like 200. Mitch, you tend to talk about, those 200 to maybe $1,000 cards, right? But the reality is, like, a guy like Sasha T, a guy like Jeff Wilson, sports card investor, those are like some big boys, and they're looking into, some $27,000 cards even. So for those people, like, if you have a $27,000 card, can you imagine grading like a Michael Jordan with mint? Or
no.
You know what I mean? Like, PSA is just, they're the king. And I think it's really important to realize, like, so many people are just caught up in, let's say basketball prism, like the Zions and the Lucas, and the print runs are high, right? But the reality is there's so many other big players, the whales, so to speak, and they're dealing with $30,000 cards, $100,000 cards.
I'll give you an example. So, like, the way I see PSA grading, Malone Money Mindset, if he's on the live right now, he would understand this. If you're going to buy currency, if you're gonna have a quarter, a Canadian quarter, you're gonna have the queen on the back. If that's not the queen, I'm gonna be skeptical. I want to be 100% sure what I have. When you get a silver dollar, like a silver, sorry, if you get a silver 1 ounce coin, you want that to be minted by, Royal Mint of Canada. You don't really want off-brand, so it's really a trust. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot of. It's not just that PSA is the brand, but they do a really good job and it looks good, and people familiarize themselves with that, right? When you go to get fast food, if you're really starving hungry, people just go to McDonald's. They go to McDonald's, Burger King, whatever you go to.
Did that today.
It is ingrained. It is ingrained in people's minds, right? And subconsciously, we are addicted to that. And that's just what it is, right? Like, it's better, faster, but not cheaper for PSA at this point. So,
Top Shelf Polls has a two-parter. So that's the first part. Should I grade my Carter Hart? I believe he's mentioning Carter Hart, PSA, Beckett, or Mint. And his second part, I don't want Mitch's advice, to be honest.
Wait, whoa. What was the first part?
Whether or not he should grade his Carter Hart young gun with PSA, Beckett, or Mint. Just because he asked that he doesn't want your advice, I'm going to let you take this one.
No. I hope you lose that card. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, I hope you drop it on the corner. No, I'm kidding.
I got this one.
Go ahead,
Mike DiStefano and I, the hockey card guru, we've mentioned forever, really, that we believe Carter Hart is one of the best goalies in the league. One of, we're not saying that he is the best, but one of the best young raw talents. First and foremost, though, I mean, that's a bad typo, dude. I mean, I can bring that up. That's a kata hot. So, I think he's trying to mention it Boston style. Anyway, Carter Hart got absolutely lit up last night. So did Brian Elliott by my New York Rangers. I would grade that PSA. He's been having like a rough 2 to 3 months. Like he has not played well this year. No way in hell. But if you do want to grade it, go PSA. Because I believe he's one of the premier goalies, and his card will reach $150 again. It just will. Give it time.
Put up Nathan Hall's question. That one's interesting.
This long one here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I recently spent like over $2,000 to grade like higher end cards, but I only graded them because those cards after they're graded are going to be worth at least $500 each. So I graded 25 cards that are worth about 25 cards that are worth at least $500 each. So I kind of agree with this. The only thing is, if you have patience and if you can grade a lot of cards, if you can do it for under $30, it's worth waiting even a year. Like I don't know. I mean, I think we already talked about this, but like Mukoko, I'm buying him raw, and I plan to grade him PSA. Not this one, but the other version. This is card number 33. I believe it's card number 45. I want to get those, grade the best ones for cheap, and just be patient because the dude's 16 years old. 2 years from now, I think that'll be a good play. So, Bird, what do you think if Bird is back? So, Bird, can you hear us? Bird is just clicking away. So it is interesting. Yeah, PSA is just it's been interesting. And I did make that predictions video, like I said, cards are going to take more time, and they're going to be very backed up, and that's kind of the way it is. But to say that low value cards aren't worth grading, how low are you talking? Because this is a $10 card. It might be a little bit more now. This is a cheap card that no, this one I'm not going to grade. I can already tell it's not worth grading. But I have cards that are better than this of Mukoko, and I think they're worth grading if I can grade them under $30. You have to look at what they're selling for and do the math. I'll look it up right now because Bird's away. Bird is watching Justice League or something. Let's see, Mukoko. And Justice League is going to take a long time to watch. So let's see here. Which card is that? That is card number 45. So I was right. That's a card that you can get, and it looks like they're almost $30 now. Yusufa Mukoko, card number 45. Buy them raw, grade them, because if you look at the graded ones, Mukoko 45, PSA 10. Those cards, I mean, I'm looking at these weird new slabs, but people are selling those cards $250 for 9.5s. PSA 10s are selling $300. So, I mean, dude, a Mukoko card 45, I mean, I know it's a Probstein, but it's sold for $700. So, that's a card you can buy, grade PS. Even if you're paying $80 a card, there's a lot of profit there. Yeah. So, very interesting. Bird, what are your thoughts on Mukoko selling for $300 PSA 10? And the cards you can buy for cheap right now.
$300 might eventually be an absolute steal. If he turns into a player like Phil Foden, even, or I don't know, like he's 16 years old, dude, and he's broken so many records by being one of the youngest to do it. He already made the under 21 German national team, and he's learning from one of the best strikers in the world right now in Erling Haaland. So his card prices, they were around $23 for that card raw ungraded on ComC. They've recently come down to like $17, $18. So like they have gone up a bit, but what I'm saying is like he's not even close, right? Most people would say Alexi Lafreniere is just starting his career. Most people would say Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is 21 years old, like, or 22 now, right? Yeah. Dude, like, he's still got 6 years until he even gets to that point, right? Ronaldo is 36 years old. He's got 20 years until he gets there. So that's all I'm saying. Like, eventually that $300 could be an absolute steal. I'm not saying it's going to, but like Mitch said, right? At the price that you can buy them raw, and then the price that they're selling graded for PSA 10s. If you got the money, go ahead.
Dude, guys, I can't tell you how many times I go on eBay. I find that, like, guys, I find Mike Tyson a question of sport for under $300. A PSA 9 sells for $3,000. Buy that card, grade it, take the time. I'm grading 3 Mike Tysons right now in my PSA. So you're going to see it when I get them back. So do the math. Get your another good tip. And I think I was going to put this in. I'm working on a new course that I've been working hard on. It's going to be I'm working on a Pokemon collecting and investing course. So if that interests you, we're going to have that coming out very soon next week. I'm working hard on that. But go in your live chat on eBay, message them and ask them to bring up your seller limit, how many things you can sell in your limit for how much you can sell. Very worth it. So about time we hear some Mukoko love. Been talking about him for weeks. Yeah, man. Like, guys, I don't know crap about soccer. I just know I can kick a ball okay. I run out of breath after 10 minutes of running. So
you run out of breath after 5.
Hmm?
You run out of breath after 5 minutes running.
No. I've been working out. I'm in better shape. I can run 10 minutes and then run out of breath. Yeah.
I run out of breath after like 4. So
yeah.
You still got me beat.
I'm still heavy. I'm still way too big right
now. That's an interesting point though, Mike. The Topps Chrome. Whew, man, like, let me tell you, we see what Erling Haaland's Topps Chrome is going for. Yeah. Really all the studs, right? Mukoko's Topps Chrome. Like, think about it. As a 16-year-old, he sold 45,000 Topps Now moment cards, so to speak. We're already seeing pre-sales of LaMelo Ball's Prism, which isn't even out yet. I'm scared to see what Mukoko will go for. But what I can almost guarantee is, because it's going to be so hard for the overseas market to get these cards, right? This is going to be really hard for people in Brazil, Germany, Finland, all those countries, across the pond, so to speak, England, right? Because that's so hard, they might actually be rather affordable for us in Northern America. I really do believe that. And for a lot of people who don't quite understand the soccer market, they're going to shy away, right? But listen, how many different YouTubers, literally YouTubers, were shying away from Yusufa Mukoko for his Topps Now? There are so many YouTubers who are shying away saying, oh, I don't know, he's unproven, whatever.
That's when you want to get him. Sorry.
Listen, what do you mean? I'm a firm believer in, you don't even need to like the guy. Like, if you can buy a card for 10 and they're selling $300.
Here's my thing. And that's why it's important to look at the value. Guys, project yourself even 4 years from now. Mukoko will be what, 20 years old? 4 years from now, he will be a baby. He'll be 20 years old. He'll be Zion's age, 20 years old. And you bought his card for $10. Do you really think you're going to lose money on that?
No.
Like, I'm about to go on a rant right now. I don't know crap about soccer. I know this is a good buy, especially card number 45. That's probably the better card.
That's the first one.
Yeah. And if you take the risk and you actually acquire the card, guys, look at the back. It's kind of nice. It's a beautiful card. It's an absolute beauty. So I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, Malone Money. He says he's a big fan of Heritage Lottie Junior PSA 10. It's about $50-$60. I couldn't agree more. The one that I like, though, and again, that's a great option. Don't get me wrong. The one that I like, though, I don't know the exact number of it, but it's the missing name, I want to say. The missing name on the back of the card. So that's the one I like. Vladdy Jr. is absolutely just destroying baseballs. Mitch, you got to hop on Twitter, man. You got to hop on Twitter because the Blue Jays just keep posting pictures and videos of this dude clobbering baseballs.
Honestly, dude,
I'm going on a limb.
My time already.
I'm going on a limb, Mitch, and I'm saying if there's another home run derby, he's winning it this time around. I think that round against Pete Alonso just burned him out, but he's the real deal, man.
He is, dude. when he first entered the league, I'm like, oh, he's kind of like for a professional athlete, he's pretty chunky. Like,
He's
but
pretty
like,
powerful.
yeah. But dude, he's really good, guys. He's got a really good eye. He's got a good eye. If you know baseball at all, Vladdy's good. But another guy I think a lot of people are going to talk about because it's not a very he's better, way better than average. Louis Robert. Louis Robert, bird.
I can see that. Yeah, I definitely agree with Anthony there. The no number slash name is it's a fresh looking card. I think aesthetically it's a really nice looking card.
Yeah,
Listen, I've been on record, not on YouTube,
on
maybe
record.
once, but I've been on record on our Facebook page. I still, guys, I'm straight up. If I see a PSA 10 Austin Meadows, like under $30, I'm buying it all day.
He's gonna pop, eh?
I believe Austin Meadows, like he fell so hard. He fell so hard, and it's one of those. It's obviously Mokoko's a better investment, just flat out. But the thing about Austin Meadows, and yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays and their market's not the greatest, but they're a good team, and not alone. Like come playoffs time, I do believe that they'll make playoffs again. And Austin Meadows, like he's gonna go up in value. Like maybe not like it's hard to not double your money when you're picking up cards for like $15 for a PSA 9 even. Like you know what I mean? Like he's a $30 talent for sure for a PSA 9. I believe so. So
yeah. Well, dude, I was on I believe it was Netflix or Amazon Prime. I watched this documentary called Pele, and it was about Pele, soccer player, and he was young. He was very young when he won his first World Cup, and I'm like, here I am learning more about soccer. After that documentary was done, I still know nothing about soccer. So that's all I wanted to share.
The EPL Prism cards, those cards are so hot right now. If you guys can get your hands on any of those packs, even honestly, keep them. Don't open it because the odds of you pulling something good from a pack aren't great. But if you can sell a pack on eBay, you'll do, or marketplace, whatever, you'll do quite well.
Dude, we should make our own NFTs, man, and sell them. I think that's where it's at.
Think Vlad will hit more than 10 home runs this year? No, I think
100%.
he will hit 20.
He might hit 30. If how many games are they going to play?
I think they're playing in a full 162.
If they play 162 games, he could get 25, maybe 30.
Why not, right? Why not?
If he doesn't get hurt, I'm going on record. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you're going to hit 25 bombs or more.
I haven't even said this even to you. I don't think I've said this anywhere outside of my mind. I think outside of the big three, so to speak, I think Kevin Biggio is going to actually shock the most people this year. Not Bo Bichette, not Vladdy. I think Kevin Biggio, in terms of ROI, return on investment, Kevin Biggio, I'm going to go on record and say Kevin Biggio is going to have the highest ROI.
Who's going to be a guy that pops up and people were like, oh, I didn't see it coming? Is he the guy for you?
Kevin?
Yeah.
In baseball, I think that's fair to say for baseball. Just because, like, I love, and I mean, I know Malone Money Mindset's going to love this. Gleyber Torres, I'm a big fan of Gleyber. Love Gleyber, but like people know who Gleyber is because he's a Yankee, right? But Kevin Biggio's, like, to me, it's Vladdy, Bo, and then him on that team for Kevin Biggio. But I like Kevin, man. I think Kevin's got a legit chance at like a 2020 season. 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases. Hell of a defenseman. People love their Blue Jays, man. Here in Canada, people love their Blue Jays. So naturally, like, honestly, the better Bo Bichette performs and the better Vladdy performs, more opportunity for Kevin to get some RBIs and things like that too.
It's true.
And apparently I can read Malone Money Mindset's mind, which is great, right?
Biased option since you're in Canada.
Not even a biased option. I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan. This is just
Yeah, dude, and I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. I actually hate the Jays. The only reason I like the Jays is because they won when I was born in 1990.
What you all need to realize is Canada has one team, one Canadian baseball team. So what happens is, by second nature, when the Jays make the postseason, you're watching and you're cheering.
Dude, dude, I don't even think Canadians like the Jays. I think if anything, they like the Raptors and the Maple Leafs the most.
Dude, are you kidding me? When the Jays and Bautista's bat flip, you are so wrong. Everyone, don't listen to what that crap Mitch just said.
Okay, because
Go Google how many millions of people turned in Canada to watch the Jays.
I'm just saying. I'm just gonna say there
are so dead wrong.
There are a lot of Canadians and a lot of true baseball fans that the Jays aren't their first team.
Oh man, my blood is boiling now.
I don't care.
Boiling. Oh.
Bird, you don't even have a Jays hat. Bird's not even a Jays fan. Bird wears a Boston Red Sox hat.
But what I am saying is, when they make playoffs, the country rallies around that team.
I don't know.
They rally around that team.
That's debatable.
Wrong.
Oh. Dude, nobody cares about the Jays anymore because they haven't won since 1993.
And when they're good, that's the thing. Canada is full of bandwagons. When the Jays are good,
not Toronto. That's my point. People like Toronto, even when they suck. They like the Raptors a little bit, even though they're garbage.
Well, obviously, they're going to like the Leafs and they're going to like the Raptors more.
I'm just saying, of all sports, like comparing like hockey to like baseball, I find that there's more Toronto Maple Leafs fans versus a lot of Toronto Blue Jays
fans. Are you trying to convince me that 2 + 2 is 4? Because everyone under the sun knows that.
Yeah.
What type of point are you trying to make here?
It's rhetorical. You don't even have to answer it.
Oh, my goodness.
Bird's rattled. Guys, I didn't mean to get Bird all rattled. That's what it took to get Bird
rattled. You can't just come out, you called Alexi Lafreniere
I can say whatever I want.
You called Alexi a bust after 9 games.
No, a bust for
that
the
was
year.
Ridiculous.
The Rangers scored 9 goals the other day. He hasn't even put one in the back of the net.
He didn't need to.
He's not even a goal scorer. He's an assist guy. Oh, here you go. Go ahead, score, Panarin. Score, everybody.
Look at this. Everyone's saying it's true. I've been to 2 baseball games because tickets were cheap, and it was a place to drink beer with friends.
See, they go to drink beer. They don't even watch the Jays.
Doesn't matter. They're still I know so many girls who have these Blue Jays crop tops and hats.
The Blue Jays are freaking bird. The maple, dude. The Blue Jays, you could almost argue, is actually cool because it's a bird. What the hell's a maple leaf? It's a freaking, it's a dead piece of a tree. Doesn't even have maple in it.
You're not helping your case. All I'm saying is, that's if you're a Canadian and if you live in like Saskatchewan or BC, well, I guess if you live in BC, how close you are, you might be a Seattle fan, proximity and things like that. But everyone loves. Look at that. This guy even knows the name of where they used to play, being the Sky Dome. Come on, boys.
And they always open the dome when the weather's nice. They don't even like the dome.
Look at this. He's saying he goes to Raptors games, not even to watch the product. He's watching the cheerleaders and drinking beer. Oh my goodness. Point being,
I
was trying to make was the Toronto Blue Jays do very, very well in Canada. The end.
What are you talking about?
They do so well in Canada.
Yeah, because that's all they have. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know if I know any Blue Jay fans in Canada.
Are you serious? You're not getting now.
Who do you know that's a diehard Blue Jay fan? What a loser that is. Whoa. Sorry if you're a Blue Jays fan.
Oh, Nathan Hall, says it's all the Jays, bro. It really is all the Jays.
Nathan probably hates me now. I'm just kidding. I'm actually kidding. But I'm just saying, I don't know.
You're not kidding. You're kidding because just like the Alexi Lafreniere bust after 9 games.
Okay, I never said he's going to be a career bust. I'm just saying he's going to have a terrible year, and he has. He's not having a good year.
Yeah, but there's a difference between saying he's going to have a bad year and he's going to be a bust.
I didn't know I couldn't say he's a bust for the year.
Yeah, exactly. Nathan Hall, Who is this guy?
Easy, Conor McGregor.
Who is this guy? Come on. Anyway,
Who is this guy?
let's see.
I am going to punch him and I'm going to get rid of this guy. He means nothing. He's nothing to me. You're going to drink my Irish whiskey?
Let's see.
Let's
Release
see.
dates.
Tons of new products to pick up. What are you buying? I'm buying individual cards. Don't waste money on packs. We've received 100 messages today. Congratulations, everybody. We're getting some engagement, baby. Joe Thornton. Look at that beard, baby.
7 points. Alexi's already surpassed Joe Thornton. Jumbo Joe, future Hall of Famer.
What?
Mitch, okay, for those of you who don't know, Mitch gives up on people if they don't have a good week. He'll just give up on them.
Dude, Zion had a bad game last game. He missed the game-winning shot. I'm not putting Zion underwater. I love Zion.
Anyway, to get back to the original question.
Series 2. That's a good move.
By Series 2. There's so many good things. There's select football. There's Prism basketball. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
You got $80,000 and a kidney to give to buy Prism basketball? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I like absolutely crazy. And to me, if I'm gonna go out and buy a product at a store, it's probably going to end up being like a blaster box for hockey because it's $30. Like Mitch said, I can't afford 3,500 American.
Bird, every time we go to get stuff, he'll like look at stuff and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this," and then he buys like $3 pack.
Boom, right?
I don't buy any packs.
Hey,
I was gonna buy one.
At the end of the day, I need to itch my curiosity and rip some packs and also
Bird's busy itching his curiosity. I didn't.
Yeah, you have to. Because as a collector, I still want to open up product, but I don't want to open up $3,000 stuff.
I love to open up expensive product if I can, but I don't buy. I haven't bought packs in like over a month. I probably, yeah.
I don't know. Like, to me, it's nice to know like what the stuff looks like in hand, in person.
I spent all my money grading PSA. All my money's gone. All my money is in the PSA, and I don't even have my cards back. All my money is like it's just floating around there. I don't even know. I have money there.
You see this? You see this? I am smiling ear to ear because on previous live streams, everyone asked the question: Should I grade PSA or should I not? I don't even bother with grading anymore. I sit at home. I don't do it, but I could be in my underwear on my laptop just making money. Dude, like calm see. I don't gotta ship cards. I don't gotta package cards. I don't gotta worry about returns. I don't gotta worry about nothing.
I just shipped 7 cards today. I shipped 7 cards today.
All your money was with PSA, and now it's in a cracked to tease card.
Hey,
because you dropped it.
Hey, you know, I have a lot of cards stacked away, and I have some cash saved away. I have Bitcoin, and
all I'm saying is,
and when I get my PSA, okay, I'm broke now. When I get my PSA back, I'm rich. Okay, let's just say that.
Oh, dude, that's like a hobo saying, "Hey, if you fill up this cup with $2,000, I'll be okay." But for now, I'm still homeless and sleeping on the streets.
Yeah, but you know what? Short term, I lose. Long term, I'm gonna win.
Sure, but in that extra long term,
yeah,
you probably could have invested in other cards and flipped them and made more money.
No.
Yes.
I'm already doing that. I got 50 cards I still got to move.
That's what I'm saying. Grading, unless the price is super duper high, grading could be overrated.
And I have a stack like this of cards I still have to grade.
All right. So what you're saying is you have a stack like this of cards that you still want to grade, aka you have this much money that you want to tie up, and it's going to be sitting in limbo.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so funny. Burn your pro set.
He says burn your pro set.
The only cards you should be burning are Lonzo Ball because it ain't going anywhere.
I think we need to stop burning cards in general.
Why? It's fun. I'll do one right now.
No, you're not. No.
I could do it right now.
Dude, look how many people agree with me, though.
Can I have a cigar on our live? Can I smoke cigar on live?
Wait, does he mean underrated or overrated?
Grading is underrated. Let's hope Smith means under. It is underrated. Like, dude, if you have patience, you should grade cards. You're better off grade. It's worth grading cards if you're going to get a high grade and if the card's worth grading. I mean, it's simple math.
Well, that's all I'm saying. Like for me, right?
Because we're slightly joking. Not all my money is locked up. Only 90% of it.
Mitch, the last 20 minutes has been a complete joke. Anyway.
Who said that? What? Well, you said that. Your card can literally 5x sending them in for the right cards. Exactly.
No, so, absolutely.
You know what? When I pick up that Michael Jordan rookie card, that's why I've been sleeping in the parking lots. No gas money.
Okay, but what I will say is this.
It's not true. I don't do that anymore.
Because I have a limited budget, I don't want my money tied up.
No, I agree. Yep.
And that's all.
Me too.
And that's why, for me, I don't see a need in grading. I really don't. But
what comes back when the card's lower than expected? Then I start yelling at people. That's what I do. Exactly. Start yelling at people. Threaten to
risky. Grading is still risky. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I did a video on that too. I'm not expecting any PSA 10s for the cards that I graded. I'm expecting some 9s. But when I grade cards, for example, this is a really nice card. In terms of like condition, when I grade this, what is it going to be able to sell at if it gets 2 grades under what I graded at? That's what I do. So I don't set like when I got Tatis 10s in, I was expecting to get 8s or 9s. Okay, so that's what I do. That's to answer your question.
Yeah, PD, calm seas where it's at, man.
PD, preach, PD, preach.
Look at this, PD. Oh man, let me tell you. I just got a new desk. Okay, I just got a new desk, and underneath my old desk, I had so many pieces of painter's tape because I was, the excess painter's tape from buying and selling cards. I put it under the desk. It was awful. I don't have to go to the store and risk catching COVID to buy supplies. No, everything's online. It's so much easier, and I'm still making money. Like it's.
Bird, I got painter's tape everywhere.
Dude, you have to work so much harder to sell cards. And don't get me wrong, like if you have these expensive cards like Mitch has,
I sell everywhere.
Right, but eBay, Marketplace, things like that are going to be the best. That's just weird. Dude, we literally just lost someone on the stream because of that.
I think we did. I think somebody saw that and they're like, I'm out. I don't know what is going on. This is like some 50 Shades of Grey sports card weird stuff. Like, what is going on over here? Dude, we legit had like 18 people on the live. We went right down.
Dropped to 17.
Somebody clicked, they're like, I'm out. Oh man.
That's just it, right? So Robert, basically what I do is I don't even necessarily have to sell those $500 cards because I tend to pick up like $20 cards, flip them, and then pick up more $20 cards, flip them. Here and there, I'll pick up cards for $100, flip them, so on and so forth. And I'm still making money.
All my Blue Jays cards I sent to ComC, and they don't really sell well. Yeah. To be honest, I have a couple of nice Vladdy cards that I sold recently.
I'll tell you why they don't sell well.
I never bought any high end or like when I was buying Blue Jay cards, I didn't really know about the proper card to buy. And if you haven't seen our latest episode, one of our latest episodes, do you keep any cards? If you've seen one of my latest episodes, I give you 5 tips, basically 5 things that I learned the hard way. And that was just getting the right card. So I know how to identify not only which player now, but which card. So that's changed a lot for me. So any cards in your – let's go over that one.
I want to get to this first, though.
Do you keep any cards?
Really quick. We both have PCs. I
would argue that my PC is – I've turned my PC into probably 50% of my investments because then I don't sell the card. in my piece, I like owning great stuff, like really good cards. So I just turned my PC into like my long-term investment. All my Zions are in there. I have like a Matthews 9.5 with 10 subgrades. Like those are cards I don't want to move. They're in my PC, stored away forever. So I'm just growing my PC. It makes my PC funner, and it gives me money down the road. Or if somebody inherits that, they're gonna be like, dude, imagine inheriting my cards. They're 20 years from now. You're gonna be rich. So
Yeah. Unless
maybe.
Anyway, Berg, did you sell some via eBay on ComC? Yeah, that's the great thing about eBay and ComC and kind of their partnership. I just ship all my cards off to ComC. They upload them, and they also upload them to eBay for me. That simple. So with that being said, yeah, I've actually, because you can see on ComC, like whether it's a username. If it's a username, that's something on ComC that they just bought. But if it's it'll say eBay, and if it's eBay, obviously, someone made an offer or bought via eBay, which is super cool, right? So now I got all my cards that I'm selling, at least, listed on 2 different platforms.
I like ComC. It's so passive in some regard. Like sometimes I sold the Vince Carter Skybox card, and I'm like, man, I don't have to ship that crap. $17 I got for it, not bad. It's not in great condition. Like,
Well, that's just it. Like
no?
that's all I'm saying, Mitch. Like it's like little to no work.
I see the value in ComC as a kind of, it's like a supplement to what you're doing. Hold your high-end cards maybe in person, because then you can get cash for it. You can protect them. You can keep them if you want. ComC is a great alternative for many forms of buying and selling. So,
right.
do you guys like card autos or sticker? Don't buy a sticker. No, you can.
Stop that.
That's a different episode. I don't like sticker autos. I like on-card autos. I don't own it. If I have an auto, and if it's a sticker auto where they sign the sticker, then they put it on the card, I don't like that. I like an on-card auto. The card's designed for the autograph. But that's for me as a personal thing. But in terms of an investment, it's still a good investment, I think. It's probably worth more, especially if the card's designed for that. I don't like cards where like if Mukoko were to sign this card, I don't like that because you're tampering with the original card. I like cards that are designed and have a spot clearly for a signature. And it seems obvious.
Like certified issued. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Bird?
Stickers suck. They just do. If you pull one, you're ecstatic. But I'm not going to go out of my way to invest in a sticker auto, because the players just what happens is they have a sheet, right? And they're just signing it. The on-card auto, it looks better. It just does. And there's a chance that the athlete could ruin the card, right? Because those cards are out in front of them, or even their agent slapping them down on the table. I don't know. It just looks better. And one more thing that I do want to mention, because so many people love ComC on this platform. My little test of bringing cards to the auction side of ComC, it did not fare so well for basketball. And I think I've mentioned that on other live streams, but I really want to mention that again. So what you can learn from that is if you're buying on ComC auctions, you can find basketball cards for great deals. And I've been picking up a lot via auctions, but don't send your cards to ComC auction. What I would recommend, just play the waiting game. Have it listed for buy it now / accept offers, and that's the way to go on ComC. Their auction, some cards I did really well. I really did. And other cards barely broke even, barely profited. I think one card I actually lost money on, Mitch. One card I lost $3. Yeah, because I sent it to auction. So the thing that I don't like about ComC is you'll send them some cards and they'll split it up. Some of them will be listed on a Tuesday night to end at 1 a.m. And it's like, what, like, why? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand why they don't put their auctions starting on Sundays and ending at like between 8 and 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Because statistically speaking, that's when people are looking to spend their money, things like that. Um,
I'm
so
waiting. I'm waiting.
I just wanted to bring that out there. I thought that was important for our viewers to know.
Yeah, I'm going to be giving that a shot, Bird. I'm waiting. I'm waiting till Sunday to list my cards on eBay. I'll do that during the day Sunday.
Yeah, dude. There's actually a lot of research behind that. And
Did you
eBay
write a paper on it?
too.
Bird did his PhD on grading or submitting listing cards on Sunday.
Basically.
Bird wrote a paper on it. You could check out his case study.
Let's see.
NBA draft class. I don't know.
See, pictures suck.
They're not bad.
Really job at like grading the card though.
No, they're not. Dude, I'm looking at some graded photos right now. They're pretty good. They're not the best though.
It's for raw though, right? Like,
yeah. Here, let me look at a raw. Yeah, they're not. They're well, I actually know a lot about photo and video. I would say that the photos aren't very sharp. That's going to be a bigger component because if you're looking at the corners, edges, and surface, it's going to be hard to identify. I'm looking at cards that I saw and held previously. Like I have a Kevin Porter Jr. card. Did that one sell? Yeah, I sold the Kevin Porter. It's a blue hoops for like, I don't know, 10, 12 bucks. And like, I knew what that card looked like. I knew it wouldn't be a 10. And I sold it raw on ComC and like, it's not a super sharp image. So sharpness, saturation's not bad, but they could be sharper. Yeah.
But what I will say is this though, Mitch, right? The picture, you can always clearly see how well the card is centered, first and foremost. You can
see that, yeah.
And if there's any surface damage or anything like that, they'll note it and they'll say surface impressions, scratches, or things like that. And they also note sometimes, if you guys log on ComC, you'll notice that they sell cards and they actually list it if it's near mint to mint, mint better, or mint. So they actually kind of like pre-grade these cards sometimes too, which is super cool. So I don't think that like the photos of the scans are bad. Let me put it this way. You know way more of what you're getting than you know what you're getting on a site like StarStock.
Yeah.
You just do. And those stats that came back, Mitch, not sure if you saw them.
No.
StarStock, their stock A's and their stock B's cards, right? A lot of A's came back and got like PSA 9s, PSA 8s. So wasn't looking too sharp. Just saying.
Interesting.
This is interesting with March Madness starting up tomorrow. Any thoughts on this year's NBA draft class? I think Luka Garza is an absolute tank.
Who?
Luka Garza. This man.
Oh, I know him.
Is an absolute tank, and I'm not just saying that because his name is Luka. 4-year senior for Iowa. This dude gets buckets. He gets absolute buckets. Played in my opinion, the toughest conference in the Big Ten. I like Luka Garza.
He's huge.
I haven't watched a lot of college basketball this year, so my bracket's probably going to suck. So it's tough to say.
He's a big guy.
Dude, he's
6'11".
Yeah.
6'11", 65. The guy is an absolute goon. He's a
Dwayne Washington from my Ohio State Buckeyes. Obviously, there's a lot of bias there, but that dude can get some buckets. Hunter Dickinson. I hate to say it, he's pretty great too. I don't know. It's hard for me to answer that question, Shamrock, just because I haven't. Truth be told, I haven't watched a lot of college basketball this season. I just haven't. So
I haven't seen any. And now it's Mr. Shamrock, Bird.
Oh, Mr. Shamrock. My bad, dude.
97.
Yeah.
After Connor McDavid, or you're born in 97.
Yeah.
So you're 20.
All right, Mitch, this is your time. You wanted to talk about this.
I mean, I don't have too many opinions because I haven't been able to get any. Is it a bubble? I don't know. What the heck is a bubble anymore? I mean, dude, you try to buy a house, they're up 30% over COVID. So a lot of people still have a lot of money. Just remember that, guys. And the richer, those that have everything, everything will be given. Those that have nothing, everything will be taken. Simple Matthews principle. Don't forget that. The more you have, the more you'll be able to get because you'll have influence and you'll have resources. So NBA Top Shot is it a bubble? Hard to say. There's some really cool stuff. I will say that if you're gonna get an NBA Top Shot, if you can't afford it, don't play too hard with it. Maybe buy the packs, sell the packs if you can. But man, they are expensive, man. I saw $200,000 Zion clips. I kind of want a Zion clip. I would like to own a nice Zion Duncan, being like, bro, I own Zion, like him Duncan. But dude, there's like 200 of the same NFT. Like they're not really one-on-ones. It's really weird. So I'm skeptical about it. And I love cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and the blockchain technology. It's all legit. But a lot of this new stuff, it's not going to be around in the future. You could lose a lot of money with NFTs. Be careful. Be careful.
Like 98% of NFTs are going to be worthless.
A lot will be worthless, of course.
A lot will be. And to answer this question, what's up with Top Shot crashing tonight? I called it a few weeks back. We were on a stream with you, myself, Mike DiStefano, and Les Alex. And I said, listen, it had Project 2020 written all over it. Everyone's trying to get rich quick. People were jumping into this knowing absolutely nothing about it. And people were hearing stories of, oh my goodness, so-and-so is making 20 grand on this. And, oh, my buddy did. But it's so important to, you still need to research and know what you're getting into. I'm not directly going to blame Gary Vee, but irresponsibly or maybe not knowingly, he hyped up that market way too much, man. Way too much.
100%.
Way too much. And like I said, just people didn't know what they were getting into. So why is it crashing now? I think I don't have an honest answer to why it's crashing. And I'm not going to sit here and say I told you so, but there was a lot of red flags. And for me, it's not about getting rich quick. It's just about getting rich. So I don't know. When people tell you that, buy this and you can make $10,000 right away, I don't know. What didn't make sense to me, Mitch, from the start, what didn't make sense was okay, so you can serial number these clips, these moments, so to speak, but there was nothing stopping them from making more moments and more moments and more moments and more moments. Kind of like what we saw with Zion Williamson. There was a hoops, there was a select, there was a prism, there was yada, 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 yada. And at the end of the day, only a few Zion, even his hoops are retaining a lot of value now, but that's all I'm saying. The market just got oversaturated way too quickly. And it grew too quick, right? Yep. There's such thing. And I think as investors, we need to understand, right, Mitch? It's possible for a business to fail because they grow too quickly.
Well, yeah, you can't keep up with, that's the thing with PSA, man. Imagine PSA is 3 years behind on grading, which they're not going to be able to get away with being 3 years behind. People will be very upset. But they can get away with a year being behind because that's kind of the level where they're at. But PSA's at a moment where if they can't keep up, that could be detrimental because then people start going elsewhere. So that could happen.
We're already starting to see that too. Right? Obviously PSA is still going to be king, but they're definitely losing a portion of that market share. I haven't really heard a lot of YouTubers or even anyone in the hobby mention HJ in a while, so I don't really know what's up with that. But Beckett, I hear Beckett, dude, no one's talking about Beckett because they also raised their prices too. So, Beckett's still great though. I love the subgrades. If PSA did subgrades, no questions asked. Oh my goodness. If they did subgrades, That'd be nice.
I'm sure they've had this conversation. It's just,
Oh, I'm sure.
do they need it? It also kind of makes them different. So that's one thing that's interesting too.
Yeah.
So Nathan, do you own any HGA and what are your thoughts? I would like to know because I don't own any. I should get one just so we have one. And a PSA 10 Topps Chrome. Here's the thing. I have a question too. A PSA 10 Topps Chrome Tatis sold for 686 Canadian. So they're selling over $600 now. Guys, somebody offered me $400 cash for this one, and it has a little crack in the case. Is that fair? Should I regrade it? You know?
Why don't you spend the $10 to reslab it?
No, you have to pay more. And you have
I'm
to
pretty
wait.
sure they're $10.
No.
On their website, it says that they're $10 to reslab.
But this is an expensive card.
But it's not a regrade. It's a reslab.
Yeah, but that changed though. They changed that, I think. I think I'd have to pay like.
Look into that for sure.
Yeah, I'd look into it, but.
Yeah.
That's a question too. Do I move it now or do I hold it? Like, I can be patient on Tatis, but like, still $400 cash. I'm $30 into this card. Do I move it?
I hate to say this, and this is going to make me sound like a complete tool, but
well, that's why I like sharing this stuff with people, right? Like,
some fool, so to speak, is going to come along and maybe not even take the time to look at the photo and buy it. And obviously, you don't want to like cheap people out like that. I would just be honest. But what I'm saying is, I think you're going to get someone at the end of the day who doesn't really mind that it's a little bit cracked. I really don't.
It's not bad too. It's very. I wouldn't like it, but I'm gonna tell whoever it is. Like I already told the person, I'm like, look, it's kind of cracked. I have two that I'm keeping 100% forever. So
9.5.
Nathan. I mean, Bird, I'm in $30. It's a 10x, better than 10x,
Yeah.
like a 12x return, 1200%.
Yeah.
12.
What are your thoughts on this comment? I don't agree with that at all.
No, a 9.5 is nice for Becky.
Like Frank said, right? Like Frank said in our video.
I wouldn't say it sucks. A PSA 10 is, you could argue, is better than a 9.5 BGS, but a true 9.5 BGS is really nice too. There's something about, there's this one Zion 9.5, 9.5, 9.5 in each subgrade. I really want the card. It's beautiful, but I'm not gonna waste $800 on a damn card right now.
Yeah, like for me, like Frank said it best actually. In that video where he goes over grading cards, he goes, what people need to realize is like an 8 is like a beautiful card to the naked eye, right? A beautiful card. And he said most cards that you get in a pack, like most, might be an 8, right? So a 9 is really nice. A 9 is like super nice. And a 10 is just
J Rock L. Tatis does sound nice. And I mean he's a guy I was thinking about. I think it was about a year ago. Bird identified him before me. But about a year ago, I was like, this dude has it, man. Like, if there's one sport that's baseball, I understand. Tatis, he's got the name, the swag. He has it all, man. So, Bird, you back? Nope. Bird is playing around on the computer. So I don't know what he's doing quite there. But, yeah, Tatis right now, I mean, one sold today for 686 Canadian. Prior to that, they've been selling for about 550. So I'm kind of in a weird spot. I don't know what to do. Is there a difference between grading with BCCG and PSA? More relaxed in their grading. You don't really want people to be relaxed in their grading. People aren't dumb. People know the cat's out of the box. PSA is just better. If you want to get your top dollar, and if you don't want to play around, you want to grade PSA if you can. Like, it's just the way it is. But again, mint in Canada, not a bad option. It's just they seem to be taking time. I'm still waiting on my 30-day, and it's been 60 days. So I've been waiting twice as long as I should be already for that card. So that is that. What else? Market already has spoken on this matter, in my opinion. Of course. Let's see. What do you guys think about Tatis paper versus Chrome? Like, do you guys think Chrome is that much better than paper? Not only with baseball, but do you think like Prism's better than hoops aesthetically? Like, I love the feeling of the old cards. I love like cardboard. I love the old school kind of feel. So I don't know what you guys think of that, but Bird, what do you think? Do you like chromes or do you like paper? Like the feel of it, the aesthetics.
Chrome is so much easier to grade. It's easier to grade. I think it matters on the card. I really do. So, like Prism Football, they do a good job at kind of like bringing out the player, and aesthetically, I don't mind it. But like baseball's got nice photography, so I actually like cardboard better.
Mm-hmm.
That's me personally.
I love paper. Like, I don't know. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to have like cards were a lot of cards were like paper, like baseball, hockey, you know. That was what I was more familiar with. Paper is iconic, but Chrome looks better. Yeah, for sure.
Some cards though, they're just like Target exclusives, and that's weird to me. Like the Target exclusive Chromes.
But like, what's nicer?
Oh, the Spidey. To be honest,
like in my opinion, this Spider-Man, that's a paper card. Mm-hmm. And like it's way better than the Zion Pulsar, pink Pulsar, or whatever it is. Like maybe a kid would like this more, but like I don't know, aesthetically, this is a cool card. It's almost like more like it feels more like art, whereas Zion just kind of looks cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what I will say is like Chrome / Prism and those cards with the chromium finish, they're easier to grade, but they sell significantly more too. Like to me, it should almost be the opposite, right? If it's harder to grade and harder to get a pristine cardboard card, I don't know. Like, I love Topps Chrome Baseball, but the cards, like when they come out of a pack, they're almost like bent a little bit. You know what I mean? That's weird to me. I don't know, man. That's a good question. Like, what do I prefer more, just paper or Chrome? I don't know. As an investor, I guess the answer is I prefer Chrome more because it's more valuable. But yeah, exactly right. The problem with paper is they do damage easier, right?
Yeah, but they don't scratch as easy. You could argue that, like legit, like fingerprints, dust, dirt, like I don't know, Chromes.
This comment sums up everything from Scott. Chromes are mostly 10s. Paper is tougher, but somehow less desirable, right?
Yeah, but 10 in what regard? Because like Chromes, you can get kind of dirty. Like,
yeah, but dude, like there's a reason why there's so many.
I understand,
Lucas, right? They do grade way easier.
Yeah,
I mean, it's easier to spot any surface issues underneath the light.
I would reflect. I would say that's true because like paper, it's easy to like bend the corners. You know what I mean? They're more fragile in a way. Like Chrome seems to be. It's also like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're even kind of like thicker. They have a, you know what I mean? They're more durable. You know, and we're getting pretty specific into like, you know,
it's an innovation on the hobby, right? It's just that it's an innovation.
Yeah.
It's just something that you got to get used to. So for example, right, comic books, I want to say 6 years ago. Yeah, around 6 years ago. Sean Kusno, shout out to Sean, you know Shawnee, and he told me, you know, I asked him, I said, Sean, aren't you worried that, right? Because he owns a comic book store, and I said, Sean, aren't you worried that like people reading comics for free online, that's going to ruin your business? And he goes, no, it's the same thing as music and with records and albums. If somebody likes something enough, they'll go out of their way and buy the physical paper version or something like that. I don't think necessarily that the exact same thing can be applied, but I just think the significance in price difference for Chrome compared to paper, that's got to get fixed eventually. I would assume so, at least, especially with pop reports, right? There's way less PSA 10s, typically speaking, of a paper card for a modern compared to a Chrome.
Mm-hmm. Dude, if I put on a Boston hat, would people even be able to identify me compared to you?
Oh, yeah.
If I put on a Boston hat, guys, would I be Bird 2.0?
Yeah. That's a great question there, Daniel. Prism, because they're lying to us and they're just printing off so many. The centering on Prism is awful, just awful, and the amount. Okay, again, Mitch, you need to go on Twitter because Golden Auctions, they tweeted out a picture. It was a Michael Jordan, LeBron James card, and anyway, they just tweeted it out. It received an 8 grade. Dude, all 4 corners were absolutely busted. It was an RPA, and the card just, dude, it looked like it should have got like a 5 max.
What was that?
An RPA. It was a Michael Jordan, LeBron James RPA.
Okay.
And it received an 8 grade, and all over the comment section on Twitter, well, I guess replies, was people saying, like, how in the world did this receive this grade? Like,
I feel like
the grade RPA is easier.
I feel like they grade certain cards easier because, like, dude, I've seen high-end cards, like the thicker ones, RPAs, like you're talking about, and I'm like, sometimes they have like damaged corners and they always get like a 9. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like they're lenient with the autos and stuff because they know like there's very few. Like, dude, if it's a 1-on-1, if it's a 1-of-1 card and it gets like 7, if it gets a 7, it's like they're. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird, man. To me, there is no nostalgia to digital. Then again, I'm older, so I feel like that, Scott. And I don't want like physical stuff to go away too. I mean, but unfortunately, even the world we're in today, like, dude, I was even thinking backward to like 5-10 years ago. Dude, you can't go to college and experience and do the things even I did. And I'm not even part of the era where drinking and driving was not even a big deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to go out to house parties and stuff. Like, now we got the vid going around. We got like, you know, we're very there's a lot going on politically too. So the world is shifting towards digital. You could even argue that from a perspective of, you know, I mean, just so many things have changed. You can't have the same amount of fun they used to have. You know, people are more sensitive now. We're sensitive now. And that's not even to like people's own like ideology.
It's not even to say that's a bad thing.
Yeah. And there's a lot of goodness out of that too. It's just you have to be almost more careful. It's just the way we're at, and that's the way it is. Like, there's a lot of good things. Are we too sensitive? I don't know. Like, I don't even care. But the point is, like, a lot of things are different now. Like, digital is softer. You could argue digital stuff, it's not as, I don't know, you're not going to offend people, whatever. Like, it's we're in a weird time. Not just cards, but like society and culture has kind of changed the market, right, Bird? Would you say that?
Yeah,
digital
this past year has kind of hit a reset button on a lot of things. And I think the hobby and people within the hobby have done an excellent job at innovating and providing new things. I don't understand Upper Deck EPAC, but it's hot. It's hot right now. That's something that I should do a better job of educating myself on. But for the time being, it's just not right for me to jump into. So I haven't, and if that's an investment opportunity that I miss out on, then, you know, so be it.
We are Maple Leaf fans and snowflakes. That's so funny. Canadian Maple Leafs.
Would I pick up Quinn Hughes Young Gun at 100 to hold? Yes, absolutely. At the start of the year when he was letting it up, It was $90. Pardon me. It was
Burp!
90. Pardon me. It's the orange juice.
That was a burp. That was a burp.
Anyway, at the start of the year,
with a
while they were
0
lighting it
calories.
up, it was $90 American raw. So, it can definitely get there again.
One thing I will say about eBay, the same card, same grading,
That's a great question.
all differently all the time. So
This is a great question here. What's really important to remember? Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Jeremy, right? Jeremy just bought that card, that Connor McDavid Young Gun, or pardon me, it was a Connor McDavid clear cut from Frank, right? He bought that card, not a cheap card by any means, but he bought that for his son. But what I'm trying to make is the next generation of kids in the hobby, right? My kid, whether I like it or not, they're going to be born into this world where iPads, computers, high-speed internet, artificial intelligence, self-driving cars are a norm for them, right? So Upper Deck EPAC and NFTs and things like that, they might not want physical things. And it sounds really weird, but like if that's their norm,
yeah,
that's what they're going to tend to gravitate towards. And that scary? Well, first and foremost, as a soon-to-be parent any day now, yeah, that's scary. But listen, I think digital cards are going to be here to stay. But hold on, because this is important. The second part to that is there's yet to be a company, in my honest opinion, who has done it right. Now, the time will come where a company does it right and where digital cards and digital stuff within the hobby becomes accessible and done well. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, but the problem with digital cards right now is that the digital cards are ready, but the humans aren't ready yet. So my opinion,
Might be
because we're so physical right now, like in the physical world,
mm-hmm.
once we integrate our brains into the internet, into the blockchain, I'm just saying, think about it. When you are in a VR world, or when you are immersed in a digital world or a digital environment, and then you can experience your digital card in a different fashion, and that's synergies together, that's where everything will change. So it's not really that the digital cards are kind of, they're just a little bit ahead. It's like video, like, dude, you could produce 4K video 70 years ago. Like, you look at like really good, what do you call it? Like Stanley Kubrick films. When they shot on IMAX film back like 50 years ago, 2001: Space Odyssey, that's like 8K in resolution. But it took until there. So, I mean, guys, I am taking you into the Matrix, but guys, I'm not kidding. I mean, a cell phone just shocks people that are like, 30 years old, right? So, yeah. I mean, dude, I didn't have a cell phone until I was in high school. So, I mean,
I remember, Mitch, when the first iPhone came out, right? And it just had one button. And so many people were like, what the hell is this? It's one button. And it's weird to think, like, it is weird to think. Now, I mean, mind you, people who are even 80 years old, self-driving cars isn't weird because they themselves have been driving cars, but they still can't even, like, comprehend Netflix, that there's a database where they can just access all these things. Like, that's still weird for them. And I don't know, like, in 10 years' time, right, like, in 10 years' time, my kid will be 10. They will probably, I don't know what kind of technology is going to be around. But what I can tell you is from our nephews right now, right, they're constantly playing on the iPad. I mean, obviously they play outside and stuff like that, but that's a norm for them. Dude, they're literally, the oldest is doing school via a laptop. That's his reality. His school, and when the next one does it, if the pandemic's still going on, he'll never know school as we all knew how school was. his reality is going to be online. So if that's kind of a lot of his day, right, going to school for 8 hours a day and coming home, and sometimes kids get not neglected, but go play on the computer, leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
If that's your reality, who's to say that you won't gravitate towards online cards or online whatever?
Well, dude, I was thinking about I went in and I got coffee today at a coffee place. Dude, I had to sign in, and I'm like, dude, like a pen and paper signing, like I don't do that super often. We're gonna get to a point where voice is gonna control a lot of things we do. You're not gonna be typing 20 years from now. Not as much. You might, I don't know, because it's still very good, but you may not be typing as much. You may be using more voice than you'd ever expect. So kids, like, dude, even now, like what, I'm 27 years old. At this point, I thought it would be really cool by the time I'm like 30 to have a cool muscle car and drive it around. Dude, what if everything's autonomous 3, 4, 5 years from now? That's a different life's not what I thought it would be either. So, and I'm not even like, I'm not 50 years old. I'm not like at the height of my income and all that either. So I don't know.
What do you think of this? And I do got to get going soon, but I
need to
want to get this
7 minutes.
Right, because I always mention like how important it is to build the hobby up at a grassroots level, right? Like if you have all these Ion cards that you're buying now that you eventually want to flip, okay, well, all I'm saying is like the next generation of collectors to continue the hobby is super important. And what he's saying is he has an 11-year-old kid who only collects hockey and he loves the physical cards. That to me is wonderful, super duper important. But he also loves Minecraft and Roblox. That's super cool, right? He likes
Minecraft's kind of cool.
And then the second part that he mentioned here, Mitch, is he also likes the simplicity of hockey players not having 10,000 rookie cards in a set.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. His words, not me. So kudos to you, Scott, for taking the time, or just just observing of what your child is telling you, what he likes and what he doesn't like in the hobby. Because at the end of the day, like having these discussions is really important. And I'm not saying these discussions will eventually go all the way up to people like Upper Deck, but maybe they will. I mean, we interview Chris Carlin, we have his contact information, so maybe one day, what your 11-year-old kid tells us can eventually get all the way up to Upper Deck, and maybe we can cash in on some of these things. So I don't know. I think we need to spend more time growing this hobby at a grassroots level.
Well, there's a reason YouTube.
Last thing, Mitch, if product is too expensive, such as what we're seeing right now in the pre-sales, $3,500 American for Prism basketball, it might kill the hobby.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anything, it will separate the hobby, right?
Yeah,
it will separate the hobby in low end and high end, and I think we're starting to see that. I think there's something to be said of, actually, I will say that too, because a lot of people I even meet and talk to, I'll bring up a couple cards I have, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're that kind of player." I'm like they think I'm like a high end guru, like not a guru, but like a high end kind of collector and investor. I'm like, guys, like you don't understand. Like people only buy like $20,000 cards or more. Like there's Patrick Bet-David levels. So I think what we're seeing are different levels of sports card collecting and investing. And I think it makes it kind of interesting, right? Because, I feel like even myself, in a sense, I've climbed maybe to a different level, because I don't really get attracted to $10 cards the same way, but I'll still buy them and flip them. I'll kind of go from, dude, I'm getting in the matrix again, but I'll go from third dimension to fourth dimension. I'll pick up some 10 cards, like $10 cards, grade them, flip them, so I can start playing in the $500 level. So I think it's not destroying the whole market. I think the market is being selectively divided through inner dimensions of investors. If that makes sense, what is true.
No, it makes sense. And again, Scott's also like preaching to the choir here, I love that, right? We need to lead a horse to water. Example of that is products on the shelves, because right now, and I'm gonna go again and use myself as an example. Any day now, right? We're gonna welcome a little one to the family, and 2-3 years down the road, 4 years, whatever it might be, right? If I bring my kid to Walmart and if I want to get them into the hobby, if there's no products on the shelf, that could be an issue. Now, mind you, of course, we have our LCSs in our local card shops and online and things like that, but the accessibility is super important to get people into the hobby. And I hate hearing how, oh, well, there's always opening day, dollar packs and whatever, which is true, There's still cards. And I think at a grassroots level, that is important,
Yeah, but
we can buy those, but
yeah, but here's the thing too, though. Like, kind of like bring up Nathan Hall, his last statement there.
there it is.
Hobby is already whatever. That's no different than people living in mansions, people living in $300 homes, $300,000 homes, people living in trailer parks. Like, maybe we're just going to see more categories of investors and collectors. And I mean, people are still going to respect high-end cards because the high-end cards bring up the lower-end cards, vice versa. So I think we're just going to see more categories because this hasn't happened yet, really, to this extent. I think the population's so big with the internet. We're completely decentralized now with YouTube. There's so much is happening. You didn't have ComC before. I don't even think people understand. I don't even appreciate how big the market is right now and how sustainable it really is as well at the moment. So,
at the moment,
yeah,
it's just interesting. The hobby's definitely grown. Right? I used to send off, opening day cards because they were so cheap, and I used to send them off to athletes and get them to autograph them, and then they'd send them back. So I used to collect autographs through the mail. TTMs is what we call them. Mm-hmm. It was no problem to find basketball, baseball, football, any kind of cards at your local Walmart. And now, obviously, there's just giant sections that are empty. But and here's where I get lost, because so many people say, oh, like retail needs to get better. And I'm actually one of those people who do believe that retail does need to get better. But if we just flock retail with so much stuff, supply and demand doesn't quite add up. And then before you know it, you have a junk wax. Where I believe the problem is, just stop buying from the flippers. Just stop buying from the flippers. And there you go. If we stop getting so hungry,
anybody can be like a seller though, like buyer seller, like.
No, for sure, but
I don't know.
The flippers are just selling it for exponentially too much, right? Like, for example, when that Joe Burrow card came out, there's no reason why a mosaic Joe Burrow was ever $1,000. There was no reason.
But the problem is, though, like, they have to spend a lot to get the stuff too, right? So that's why,
kudos to them. It's a grind. They pay buddies to wait in line, and they know the MJ Holdings people. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying don't flip, but what I'm saying is, if you don't want to be spending $3,500, what is that?
I got somebody's message on Insta. The funking card guy. We're gonna add that to our story. Okay. Share some love.
Cool. But yeah, Mitch, all I was saying was, like, if we want to get to a point where Prism basketball is not $3,500 again, then we need to stop buying it at that price. So what I'm saying is, if people are going out and buying $3,500 Prism basketball, right, and then if it's being flipped for $5,000 consistently, what's going to happen in 2022? It's going to sell for $5,000 again.
Here's a real question: should Bird and I sell NFTs? And what kind of NFT should Bird and I sell? What kind of NFT? Like, you know what I'm waiting for? That I would buy 100%. If Pokemon, like TCG, if the Pokemon Grading Card Company, when they make their first official NFTs, I'll be buying that. And if they're appropriately priced, that will be huge. So, I mean, dude, I'm waiting for a big company to make really nice NFTs where you could buy them, have them on your phone. But again, I think there's always going to be a spot for physical cards, and that's why it's important. You got to get the right cards, get the right players.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
for sure too.
I should get going too, but we should close up. It's been a while. I could do this for 8 hours if we wanted to. So
yeah, I agree too. We've almost been here for 2 hours.
I'm working on that Pokemon course. We got a big, like, guys, a legit Pokemon investing and collecting course. That's what I wanted to share as well. Over 50, almost 50 different videos. A lot of time and effort put into that. So it'll be $10 when it comes out. So $10, show you everything about Pokemon. So
is that $10 Canadian or American?
Canadian. All the coupon code. Yep.
There you go. So that's like what, $8 American?
Yeah, and like, guys, like the video. If you guys are on too, like, we got 15 live people. If you can, drop us a like. We'd really appreciate it. Give us a like, hit the subscribe button, because I'm doing some videos tomorrow, day after, for next week. We're going to be putting out a lot of content. If we get more likes, more comments, subscribers, it gives me and Bert a lot of reasons to kind of keep it going. So
yeah, right. Like that.
If we get likes and subscribers, we're going to stop this channel. So,
I mean, yeah. All right, guys. Anyway, thanks all so much for watching. When's the next video coming out, Mitch?
Saturday. Today we're Thursday, so
right,
Monday,
Saturdays are for the boys.
6 p.m. Saturdays
for the boys. I want at least 40 likes on that video. Make it
Saturday for the boys. No calories.
40 likes minimum. All right.
40 likes. No, dude, we need 100 likes. So let's get 100 likes.
Okay, if we get 100 likes, Mitch will post a photo of you dunking on a net. It doesn't have to be 10 feet though. If we get 100 likes, will you dunk?
Will I dunk?
It? Yeah, we'll lower the net to like 8 feet.
Can I dunk on 8 feet? Yeah, I could probably dunk.
I hope so.
I'm 5'11" in like.
Oh, come on. You can, dude. If you're 5'11", even raising your arm, you're probably 7'9".
I can dunk on 8 feet.
All right, so there it is. 100 likes.
How about I do something that I'm good at? How about I'll like throw a baseball at you or something?
Because people want to see you dunk.
Nobody wants to see me. But I will. Okay. Okay. If we get that many likes, I will pronounce an entire soccer.
There we go, Mitch. Nathan Hall.
No.
Wear a Jays hat.
I'll wear it backwards so you don't see the Jays.
No, you gotta wear it frontwards.
All right, guys, for real though. Batman first. I'm not even like a DC guy. Like I'm not a like I don't even know why I'm promoting this really. I guess for suicide awareness. So Zack Snyder came out with Justice League. You need to watch it. I watched the first 20 minutes. It's 4 hours. I didn't watch it all yet, but you guys need to watch it.
How the hell is that suicide awareness?
He didn't finish the movie. His daughter committed suicide. That's what happened.
Oh, okay. Now I feel like
I know. That's why. No, and legit, a lot of people don't know about this. Zack Snyder didn't finish his movie because his daughter killed herself. So, for real, nobody wants to see me dunk. Nobody wants to see me dunk. But watch Justice League. I think Zack Snyder deserves more love, and he finished the movie for his daughter, so it's pretty cool.
Wonderful. Well, I'm actually going to watch it now with the wife. So thanks all so much. Later.
You ruined the movie, man. Come on.
Later, boys.